say hello. Let me know how you're doing today. Hey Sally, welcome in. I'm excited too, can't wait. Come on in and get comfortable. We'll be getting started in about 4 more minutes. Welcome in. Make yourself comfortable for today's ASMR. Thank you for the roses. Welcome in if you're just joining. We will be getting started with today's mystery ASMR special event in just about 3 more minutes. Welcome in. Thank you, Green. Don't forget to get your heart me as you come in. Welcome in. We'll be getting started in about 2 more minutes. With today's special ASMR mystery event, The Case of the Whispering Manor. As you come in, don't forget to get your heart me's. We'll be getting started should be showing up on the top. Just a moment. Hold on. When you see the suspects' names, are they on the top or on the side? Let me know. It's on the top. Okay, good. It's showing up on the side for me. These are our suspects. And as we go, you can send a gift to mark the suspects as your prime suspects. Let's learn about the victim first. Thornton Whitcomb. Put him up. Sir Thornton Whitcomb. You can see that he possesses a rugged elegance. He could turn the charm on like a gas lamp. Thornton liked to be looked at, but he liked even more to be the one doing the looking, cataloging others' weaknesses, weighing them like coins. Coins. I want you to see Thornton as he truly was. Not just a victim, but the center of a storm he stirred with his own hands. He was a connoisseur of fine whiskeys. Let me show you. This was the last bottle from which he drank. This was the last bottle from which he drank. I can pour a glass for each of you. Would you like that? Bring me your glasses. Let's have a little of this whiskey, shall we? There you are. whiskey. As we go along during our mystery today, you must take notes, my friend. Do you have your paper? Do you have your pen? Good. You must take notes, my friend, as we solve this mystery. You're already taking notes. Oh, good, good. Perfect. And you're underlining. And you're circling. Oh, you are good, aren't you? Amazing. Be sure to take notes along the way. That way you'll know what your suspicions are as we go. Before we begin, one more thing. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Thornton, our victim, that will help you along the way. Now is the time to pay attention. He was a brilliant man, known for his love of piano concertos. Piano concertos. In fact, he spent much of his time in the parlor where his body was found, listening to the pianists, the young and beautiful Aurelia Keys. You'll remember that name, won't you? Aurelia Keys. Rehearsals. Following these rehearsals, there were always two. One, empty whiskey glasses left behind for the housekeeper, Mrs. Honor Breyer, to clean. You'll remember that name, won't you? Mrs. Honor Breyer. Good. Good. She is very good at cleaning, indeed. Servants whisper that the housekeeper does more than clean. When certain objects disappear from the manor, Lady Vesper Whitcomb, Thornton's wife. You'll remember her name, won't you? Good. Lady Vesper Whitcomb, wife and heir to his fortune, claims that one of her phonograph recordings has gone missing, and she is quite frantic about it. Rumor has it has arrived for unclear reasons. Let's review our suspect's gumshoes before we begin. Aurelia Keys, the Manor's pianist, young and beautiful. Lady Vesper Whitcomb, the heir and wife of our victim Thornton Whitcomb. Dr. Lyndon Corvette, the botanist at the manor, conducting experiments in the greenhouse. Cassian Moorcroft, a distant aristocratic relative, staying in the guest bedroom. And Mrs. Honor Breyer, the housekeeper, always lingering and perhaps taking more than her due. As we move throughout the mystery today, each suspect has their own gift. When you send a suspect's gift, you mark them as a prime suspect as we go. Are you ready to begin? Good. Lady Vesper Whitcomb discovered her husband in the parlor only last night, after a bizarre event involving the grand piano. The coroner claims that Thornton died of cardiac arrest. His wife believes he was murdered. What do you believe? When you hear the sound of the grandfather clock, listen. That means it's time to vote. Vote. Let me see. Vote A. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Vote a star if you believe he was murdered. Vote a heart if you believe it was cardiac arrest. Vote a star if you believe he was murdered. Vote a heart if it was cardiac arrest. Vote a star if you believe he was murdered. Vote a heart if you believe it was cardiac arrest. Oh, I see that you believe he was murdered. You are very smart indeed. rises from the hill like a memory. Its stone walls are the color of old moonlight, softened by creeping ivy. Tall windows watch without blinking, their glass warped just enough to make the candlelight shimmer like restless spirits. The heavy front doors breathe out the faintest sigh when opened, as though exhaling a century of secrets. Inside, the floors moan softly under each step. Portraits line the hallway, their lacquered eyes catching the glint of candelabras that tremble with each flicker. Velvet drapes pool on the floor in whispering folds, and the wallpaper is patterned with tiny silver feathers. The Whispering Manor is beautiful, yes, but it's the kind of beauty that leans close to your ear and murmurs that you are being watched, 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 watched. I will need your help to solve this mystery here at the Whispering Manor. But before we begin, we must settle our mind and energy with a meditation as we breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. Good. This case requires sharp eyes and a sharper intuition. Do you require a brain massage before we begin? You do. I knew it. So that you can relax, relax, relax. Hold on. When you hear the sound of the grandfather clock, that means that it is time for us to vote. Let me see. Let's vote for hair brushing or head scratching. Hair brushing or head scratching. You can vote by clicking the blue check mark in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Hair brushing or head scratching. We have 2 minutes left in the vote. Get in your vote for your choice of relaxation. We have 1 minute left for our vote for hair brushing or head scratching. Thank you, Ivy. 15 seconds left. Hair brushing is in the lead currently. Perfect. Hair brushing is our winner. Hair brushing is next. You must be relaxed before we begin. Why don't you let me brush your hair to settle the energy? Relax. just smiley face, you are a skilled gumshoe. Sad face, you are not a skilled gumshoe. Perfect. Most of you are skilled gumshoes. That's perfect. Some of you are not. That's okay. Those of you who are skilled gumshoes, come with me. We're about to begin. Let's go into the manor. Guided by candlelight. It is storming outside, after all, isn't it? This candlelight will provide the light and the warmth that we need. Oh, Lady Vesper, there you are. Your silhouette is unmistakable in the candlelight. Slender as a candle flame, hair as pale as spilled milk, a gown too decorous for the occasion dripping, lace and garnets. Curious, very curious. Be sure that you take notes as we go along, as we talk with Lady Whitcomb, noticing how she's dressed and how she's acting, and of course what she says. Noticing if you see anything strange about her as we go. You can do that, can't you? You wish to know about Lady Vesper Whitcomb then? Ah, yes. I can see why. She does strike one as suspicious, doesn't she? Pardon me, Lady Vesper, but I must step aside with my associates for a moment. I'll let you decide what you think of Lady Vesper Whitcomb, and you tell me if she's suspicious at all. Okay? Okay. Let's take a look at Lady Vesper Whitcomb. There she is, with hair as pale as spilled milk. She has a drifting, some say enigmatic presence. To my eye, she seems to be performing her grief It does sound like a heartbeat as it's skipping. I think we should put a few questions to Lady Vesper Whitcomb, don't you? Good. Let me see. Just a moment here. Let me bring it up. Our first questions for Lady Vesper Whitcomb. We have 3 options. You'll see them up in the corner of your screen. Question number 1. A. What did you first notice when you entered the parlor and found the body? Question B. How did you feel when you saw the body, when you found it? Question C. Was anyone acting strangely before you discovered the body? Now is the time for you to vote. When you hear the sound of the grandfather clock ticking, which question should we ask Lady Vesper Whitcomb? Question A. What did you first notice when you entered the parlor and found the body? Question B. How did you feel when you found your husband lying on the floor? Question C. Was anyone in the house acting strangely before you discovered the body? We have about 1 minute left to vote. Vote, vote. When you hear the sound of the grandfather clock, that means it's time to vote. Which question will we pose to Lady Vesper Whitcomb? What is the most important question to ask? What did you notice? What did you feel? Was anyone acting strangely? It's very close. The results are in. 12 votes for what did you notice? 10 votes for if anyone was acting strangely, and 0 votes for how did you feel. Let's ask her the question. What did you first notice, Lady Vesper Whitcomb, when you entered the parlor and found the body? Oh, let's see what she has to say. The very first thing that she noticed wasn't Thornton at all. It wasn't Thornton at all, but a single piano note. A single piano note. The note was still trembling when she entered the parlor. That's very odd, isn't it? A single piano note. Question number 2 that you chose is, was anyone in the house acting strangely before you discovered the body? Was anyone in the house acting strangely before you discovered the body? Yes. It appears that Aurelia Keyes. It appears that Aurelia Keyes, the pianist, was acting strangely before Vesper discovered the body. Keyes's fingers kept tapping, tapping, tapping her own wrist, as if keeping time with the music she could not hear. Tapping her own wrist. Good. Thank you, Lady Whitcomb. My associates and I will have a look around the Whispering Manor now. We must look for clues. We must look for clues now. Have your magnifying glasses handy, gumshoes, and put on your thinking caps. As we move into part 2 of the case of the Whispering Manor. Oops. Part 2 of the case of the Whispering Manor. We search for clues in each room. But where should we begin looking for clues? Which rooms hold the secret to the case of the Whispering Manor? Coming up next, let's vote for which rooms we should begin in. Let me put up our next vote and we'll get started. Just a second here. Okay. Our next vote is for which room we should look for clues in. Your votes will determine the order that we look for them. When sound of the grandfather clock ticking. That means it's time to vote. Let me know which room we should begin looking for clues. You can click on the blue checkmark icon in the corner of your screen. Cast your vote now for which rooms you want to prioritize as we look for clues. We have about 1 minute left for our vote for which rooms you want to look for clues in. Get your vote in now. The parlor has 5 votes, and the hidden passage has 1. But there's also the library, the greenhouse, and the guest bedroom. Alright, our vote is over. Thank you to everyone who voted. It looks like the parlor will visit first, followed by the hidden passage and the guest bedroom. And then we'll do the library and finish with the greenhouse. Perfect. Alright, let's begin by looking for clues in the parlor. Give me just a moment to get that ready. Just a reminder, as we go, be sure that you're voting for your prime suspect. My dear gumshoes, let's step into the parlor together. Breathe slowly. And look at what I found. The piano bench. There's a little indentation as if someone has just risen from it moments before. Next to it is an empty whiskey bottle. We know this bottle. Thornton's favorite whiskey drink. Let's uncork it. Oh, just as I expected. It smells of lavender and cedar. It smells of lavender and cedar. A perfumer's touch. Or a musician's attempt at calm. Thornton Whitcomb's hand is stretched toward the piano. Wait, it seems to be holding something in it. Oh, do you think that we should pry open his hand and retrieve its contents? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that we should pry open his fist and see what he's holding? Let me know in the chat. Yes, definitely, yes, yes. Let's do it as we pry open Thornton Whitcomb's hand. It appears to be a sheet of music. A sheet of music. Let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look. Oh my goodness. It looks just like a usual normal sheet of music, doesn't it? But let's examine it a little bit closer. 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 What? I see something strange here. I see it now. Some smudged ink is here. It says the piano wasn't playing on its own. Not at first. And then here below it says, I did not write this. That's curious. The piano wasn't playing on its own. Not at first. And I didn't write this. Well, what kind of piano plays on its own? Have you ever heard of such a thing, Gumshoes? It's curious. Do you think that we should open the piano and have a look inside? If it's playing on its own, well, do you think we should have a look inside? Okay, let's open the piano, shall we? is right there. Something strange indeed. Faint scratches. Faint scratches. Thin and frantic, as if someone tried to close the lid quickly or hide something. And I catch a faint chemical scent, lavender and cedar. It all suggests the same thing, doesn't it? Someone was here with Thornton in his last moments. The servants whisper that Aurelia Keyes and Thornton were unusually close and would often drink whiskey together while he listened to her play the piano. Aurelia Keyes may be one of our prime suspects. You can send a sour buddy if you believe that Aurelia Keyes should be one of our prime subjects, our suspects for the murder of Thornton Whitcomb. If you believe that Aurelia Keyes should be a prime suspect, send a sour buddy now. Alright, I know we had 2 votes for Aurelia Keyes earlier, so I will mark her suspect list as 2. 2 for Aurelia Keyes as a suspect in the mystery. And we got 1 more, 2 more. 4 votes for Aurelia Keyes as a suspect. Alright. Next, we're headed toward the hidden passage. The hidden passage is next. Here in the hidden passage, we find clues related to Mrs. Honor Breyer. Let's take a closer look, Gumshoes. Is the hidden passage simply a corridor for servants? Or does the housekeeper, Mrs. Honor Breyer, use it for other purposes? No one can deny how immaculate she keeps this space. Some say too immaculate. I can smell the scent of cleaning products, can't you, Gumshoes? Let's take a closer look at her cleaning products. Mrs. Honor Briar's cleaning. I know you smell it too. The scent of lavender and cedar woven into her cleaning supplies. Well, that's the same smell that we found in the piano, isn't it? I also see nearby 2 teacups sitting on a small table and a teapot. The tea seems to have gone cold. Oh, would you like a cup then? Of course, let me pour you one. I have one for all of you. One for me as well. Perfect. Let's try it. How is it? Not poisoned, I hope. Oh no. It's not poisoned, is it? Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. It's still good. And look. On the floor, look closely. A loose floorboard. Let's pry it open and see what's inside. A small journal. Let's take a closer look. suspect. If you believe that Mrs. Honor Breyer should be a suspect, then send a flower garland to mark her as a suspect. Now, perfect. One vote. 2 votes for Honor Breyer. Perfect. Let me write that down. Honor Breyer with 2 votes. Aurelia Keys has 4 votes because 2 people voted before. Honor Breyer currently has 2 votes for the prime suspect. Coming up next, let's do a little lip gloss. Because my lips are dry. First, some water though. Let's do. And a little for you, of course. Next, we go into our next room. It is the guest bedroom. Just a sec. The guest bedroom contains clues for our guest Cassian Moorcroft. Let's take a closer look. Here is the bedroom where the Whitcomb guest, Cassian Moorcroft, is staying. Can you smell that, gumshoes? It's the scent of lavender and cedar with a metallic undertone that doesn't belong. On the vanity are rows and rows of tiny glass vials, fragrances and perfumes. So many vials of perfumes. This one looks pretty interesting. The liquid inside clings thickly to the glass, reluctant to settle. Oh, you think that we should spray it? You do. You are very brave, so do I. Shook, shook, strange, don't you? If you think that Cassian Moorcroft is a suspect, then send the stinging bee. If you think that Cassian Moorcroft should be considered a prime suspect, then send the stinging bee. One vote for Cassian Moorcroft. Did Cassian Moorcroft do it? Perfect. We have one vote for Cassian Moorcroft. Let me write that down. We'll interview them later and get more details. Coming up next, we have 2 more locations. Next is the library. The library is next. Here in the library, we find clues for Lady Vesper Whitcomb, the wife of our victim. Come closer, gumshoes, as we step into the library. A room that seems peaceful, but tonight it's humming. It's humming. This is Lady Vesper's favorite room. I run my hands over the spines of books and find, oh, yes. This one sounds strange, and it also looks strange. It seems to be a simple book. What is it? The Woman in White. But oh yes, the inside has been hollowed out. The inside has been hollowed out. And look, what's this that we find inside? A note. A note. Let's unfold it. beside it is a small velvet bag. Shall we open it? Let's see what's inside. It appears to be a tuning fork. In the key of C, the frequency of 512, the heart chakra. It seems meaningless unless... What? Do you think that we should strike it and see what happens? Okay, let's try. The tone shivers through the beams overhead, shaking the manor itself. Someone has been using this tool to send a message to someone else in the manor. Perhaps Lady Vesper used it to send a message, but to whom? As I place the book back on the shelf, I see something that is hidden behind it deep in the shadows. A phonograph cylinder. Oh yes. Lady Vesper loves making phonograph recordings. Remember, let's listen. I hear a faint voice in the background. It says, "You promised it would end tonight, Thornton." Did she record Thornton's last moments? What did she expect would end? A secret venture? An affair? Send a heart signal. No, send hearts. If you believe that Lady Vesper would come, should be considered a subject, a suspect. Send hearts. gumshoes. It's quite humid. The windows are fogged over jewel with condensation, and we hear the sound of birds singing. Listen. Above us, birds trace slow circles. Listen. Feathers are scattered across the tiles. Feathers are scattered across the tiles. So soft. So soft. So, 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 so. On the workbench, we find jars of soil full of delicate plants with pulsing veins. Have you ever seen a plant like this before? It looks very strange. I've never seen a plant like this one before. Shh, 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 shh. Notice how when I make the shh, 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 shh sound, the leaves respond. I think that we should snip some samples of this plant, don't you? Let's snip some samples of this plant, shall we? Pluck, snip, pluck, snip, pluck, snip, snip, pluck, snip, snip. That's good, probably enough. Look, there are some vials hidden beneath the bench, full of pale liquids and labeled only with the names of plants. It smells odd, perhaps poisonous. There's only one way to determine if it's poisoned. A face massage, right? Let's do it. Which one of you would like to volunteer? Which one of you gumshoes volunteers for this face massage? Just let me know in the chat. Come now, one of you must volunteer, of course. We need to find out. I promise it will be relaxing. Kelly, you'll do it. Perfect. is suspicious and should be considered a prime suspect. We have 2 votes for Lyndon Corvette. Send singing birds if you believe that Lyndon Corvette is a prime suspect. Just had to blow my nose there, sorry. Alright. Good job, Gumshoes. Let me write down the results. Lyndon Corvette has 2 votes. This is the end of part 2. Right now, Aurelia Keys has 4 votes. Honor Breyer has 2. Cassian Moorcroft has 1. Vesper Whitcomb has 2. And Lyndon Corvette has 2. Good job, Gumshoes. Let's move now into part 3. Welcome to part 3, Gumshoes. Now that we have collected the clues, we gather the suspects like chess pieces. In part 3, we'll question each suspect closely and make our determination of whodunit. Part 3 is the place where we decide who is responsible for Thornton Whitcomb's death. Perfect. We're going to go in order of part 3 is not the last one. Part 4, we will decide who it is, and that will be the end. So we're almost there. We're so close. We're going to go in order of who has the most votes so far. For suspects, let's begin with Aurelia Keys. Give me just a moment here. I'm going to put up a vote for Aurelia Keys. I'm going to take down the voting. Thank you, Auntie, for the suspect so I can do the votes. Hold on. After we ask each suspect the questions, I'll put the voting back up and we can decide who we think is most suspicious. Okay, our first questions are for Aurelia Keys. Let me put her up. Alright, give me a second to get that vote up. Okay. On your screen now, you'll see the voting for Aurelia Keys. Vote for which 2 questions you want me to ask her. Question 1. Why were you playing Question B. How did your sheet music end up in Thornton's fist? Question C. Did you love Thornton Whitcomb? Cast your vote now for the questions, the top 2 questions you want me to ask Aurelia Keys. Question 1. Why were you playing piano in the parlor so late last night? Question B. How did your sheet music end up in Thornton's fist? Question C. Did you love Thornton Whitcomb? Cast your vote now. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this vote. Right now, question B and question C are tied, and no one has voted for question 1 yet. You can click on the blue checkmark icon in the corner of your screen to vote. Question A. Why were you playing piano in the parlor so late last night? Question B. How did your sheet music end up in Thornton's fist? Question C. Did you love Thornton Whitcomb? 20 seconds left to vote. Alright. The votes are in, and the winners are questions B and C. Thank you to everyone who voted. Let's pose these questions to Aurelia Keys, shall we? How did your sheet music end up in Thornton's fist? This is what she says. He was angered by something I said, and to get me to stop playing, he ripped the sheet from my music book. I did not see him crumple the sheet. No. In fact, he didn't even look at it. He did it just to scare me. What had you quarreled about, Aurelia? And she says, he tried to kiss me. She says, he tried to kiss me. Question C. Did you love Thornton Whitcomb? Aurelia answers, no. My heart belongs to another. To whom, madam? To Dr. Lyndon Corvette. But questions. Gumshoes, take note. Take note. Coming up next, we will question Mrs. Honor Breyer. Mrs. Honor Breyer will be questioned next. I'm going to put up 3 questions for us to choose from, and you can vote for the top 2 questions that you would like to ask Mrs. Honor Breyer, the housekeeper. Let me get that ready. Okay, you should see the vote now in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. You can vote for questions to ask. Question A: to whom did those 2 teacups belong? Question B: why does your journal state that Thornton should not have gone into the passage alone? And question C: did Thornton Whitcomb treat you well? Cast your vote now for the top 2 questions you want to ask Mrs. Honor Breyer. Question A: to whom did those 2 teacups belong? Question B: why does your journal state that Thornton should not have gone into the passage alone? And question C: did Thornton Whitcomb treat you well? Cast your vote now for the top 2 questions to ask Mrs. Honor Breyer, the housekeeper. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Right now, question A is in the lead, followed by question B. We have 30 seconds left for you to cast your vote. You can click on the blue checkmark icon in the upper left-hand corner to cast your vote. 10 seconds left in this vote for Mrs. Honor Breyer. Alright, thank you to everyone who voted. The results are in. Questions A and B we will ask Mrs. Honor Breyer. Let's get started. Mrs. Honor Breyer, to whom did those 2 teacups belong? She says, Lyndon drank from one. Of that I am certain. How can you be certain, Mrs.? Because it smelled of something foul and not Earl Grey. Does your journal state that Thornton should not have gone into the passage alone? Honor responds, I never wrote that it was Thornton. Oh, then who was it? I'm sure I have no idea, Detective. Only a few people know of the hidden passage. And although Thornton knew of it, he would never lower himself to such a level by entering it. I believe he would rather die. Thank you, Mrs. Honor Breyer. Hi, Tammy. Gumshoes, make sure that you remember. Which answer seems suspicious? And we'll vote at the end of this part for your prime suspects. Coming up next is Vesper Whitcomb. Vesper Whitcomb is next. Alright, you can click on the blue check mark in the upper left hand corner to vote which questions we want to ask Lady Vesper Whitcomb. Question A. What does the message on that phonograph cylinder mean? Question B. With whom did you use the tuning fork to communicate? Hold on a minute. That's the wrong one. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I put up the wrong poll. Hang on a second. Give me a moment to get up the right poll. Okay, there it is. So sorry, my friends. Now you can click on the poll. This is the right one. Question A. What does the message on that phonograph cylinder mean? Question B. With whom did you use the tuning fork to communicate? Question C. Did Thornton confide in you about anything troubling lately? Cast your vote now. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you should see a blue box, an icon with a check mark in it. This background music is called Mystical Forest. Mystical Forest. Question A. What does the message on that phonograph cylinder mean? Question B. With whom did you use the tuning fork to communicate? And question C. Did Thornton confide in you about anything troubling lately? We have 1 minute left for the vote. Be sure to get in your vote for questioning Lady Vesper Whitcomb. Right now, question A is in the lead. Questions B and C are tied. These votes are for questions to ask Lady Vesper Whitcomb. Click on the blue check mark to see the questions and vote. Alright, our voting has ended. The winner is question A, and questions B and C are tied. So we will do all three questions for this one. All three questions. Grant, we have one part left. It shouldn't be much longer. I'm thinking maybe 30 minutes at the most. Question A. What does the message on that phonograph cylinder mean? Lady Vesper says, "He promised me that he would stop drinking, Detective." But Thornton made many promises that he never kept. And did that make you angry, Lady Vesper? Yes, it did. Question B. With whom did you use that tuning fork to communicate? And Lady Vesper answers, the tuning fork is in the key of C, the heart chakra. I used it to send a message to the keeper of my heart. Of course, you refer to your husband, I assume. Not at all. He was not the keeper of my heart, sir, but its destroyer. Then who was the keeper of your heart, madam? Dr. Lyndon Corvette. Question C. Did Thornton confide in you about anything troubling lately? Her answer is yes. He was paranoid that someone was listening to him. Not watching, but listening. He believed someone was in the walls, or that something was playing tricks on him. What kind of tricks? The piano playing on its own, sharp scents coming from nowhere, the sound of footsteps but no one around. Thank you, Lady Vesper Whitcomb, for answering our questions. Next is Dr. Lyndon Corvette. Dr. Lyndon Corvette is next. is your time to cast your vote for the top 2 questions. He is a 2-timer, Snicks. At least 2. Click on the blue check mark to pose your questions to the botanist, Dr. Lyndon Corvette. Question A. Were you romantically involved with any members at the Whispering Manor? Question B. Why make poisons? Question C. Why keep birds in the greenhouse? We have 1.5 minutes left for you to vote. One minute left for you to vote for your top questions. Question A is in the lead, followed by question C. Oh no, you can't vote. I'm sorry. What would you vote for, Amirin? 10 seconds left to get in your votes for your top question. Neighbor, it's on. Epidemic music. Epidemic music. Alright, A and C are our winners. Questions A and C. Were you romantically involved with any members at the Whispering Manor? And Lyndon Corvette answers, yes. Of course, detective. To be young is to be prime. Who, specifically, sir? A few servants. The pianist, Aurelia Keys, and the lady of the manor, Lady Vesper Whitcomb. I've dallied with nearly everyone, except for Mrs. Honor Breyer. Okay. Question C. Why keep birds in the greenhouse, sir? His answer is, they react to frequencies before humans do. Why do you need to be vigilant about frequencies? I have a lover who sends me messages through frequency. Also, if something in the manor hums with danger, the birds will know first. questions for Cassie and Moorcroft. You can place your votes now. Question A. Your lavender and cedar appears in many rooms. Why? Question B. Why are you here at the Whispering Manor? Question C. My gumshoes and I found sedatives in some of your perfumes and mechanical pieces on the nightstand. Care to explain? Cast your vote now for your top 2 questions to ask Cassie and Moorcroft. Question A. Your lavender and cedar scent appears in multiple rooms. Why? Question B. Why are you here at the Whispering Manor? Question C. My gumshoes and I found sedatives in some of your perfumes and the mechanical pieces on the nightstand. Care to explain? We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Right now, question C is in the lead, followed by question B. Get in your vote now. We have 1 minute left. I'm glad you're having fun. I am too. We're almost there, gumshoes. A and C are your votes, Amira. Okay. Got it. Thank you, Grant. Yes, I plan on doing one next month. I'll talk about it at the end of the live stream. It's for the holidays. 10 seconds left to cast your vote. Alright, we have a tie again because Amiran casted her vote for A and C. So we are tied. So we are going to do each of these questions. Thank you to everyone who voted. This is our last suspect, Cassie and Moorcroft, and then it will be time to vote. Let's do it. Your lavender and cedar scent appears in many rooms. Why? Cassian answers, and why not? It is a lavish scent. You seem to like lavish things, don't you, sir? Who doesn't? I enjoy the finer things in life. I notice that you don't wear your own perfume. Why? I don't care for this particular medley of fragrance. To me, it's nauseating. Only for riffraff. Question B. Why are you here at the Whispering Manor? I'm visiting my dear cousin Thornton. Did you have a good relationship with Thornton then? Well, who has a perfect relationship with cousins, I ask you? Why visit if you don't get along? I was here on business. Some nonsense about patents. Question C. My gumshoes and I found sedatives in some of your perfumes and mechanical pieces on your nightstand. Care to explain? Cassian answers, who doesn't like to relax a little, huh? Well, besides you, apparently. Some of my perfumes are designed for clients who appreciate slowing down. And the machine pieces, only a hobby. Music boxes. I've loved them since I was a child. Gumshoes, we now have all the clues for solving the mystery of the Whispering Manor as we move into part 4, the final part of our mystery adventure. Now we have all the clues, Gumshoes. We followed every whisper, every footprint, and every note. Take the next few minutes to put your theories in the chat of who you think did it. Was it Aurelia Keys, the pianist, young and beautiful, the object of Thornton Whitcomb's admiration and obsession? We found music sheets crumpled into his hand as he lay on the floor, and the sound of a piano note playing as the piano played by itself in the parlor. Was it Lady Vesper Whitcomb, the wife and heiress to the manor and fortune, who was in love with Dr. Lyndon Corvette, who wanted her husband to stop drinking, but he never did? Was it Dr. Lyndon Corvette, the botanist, obsessed with plants and birds, making botanical blends that may have been poisoned, who was infatuated with women in the manor? Is it Cassian Moorcroft visiting from abroad, a perfumier who came to take back his business from Thornton Whitcomb and who put sedatives in his perfumes and had mechanical pieces in his room? Or was it Mrs. Cassian is the distant relative house guest who's staying in the guest bedroom. He's the perfumier. Cassian. I'll give another vote for Cassian. Perfect. Cassian, Lyndon. Lyndon didn't lose his business. Oh, you did. You lost track. Okay. Alright, let's reveal who the murderer is. Let me tally the votes and see who you all voted for. Alright, 4, 5, 6. Aurelia Keys, the pianist, received 6 viewer votes. 6. Lady Vesper Whitcomb, the wife, she received 2 of your viewer votes. I'm just going to go in order. Lyndon Corvette, the botanist, received 4 of your viewer votes. Cassian Moorcroft, the aristocrat perfumier, received 7 of your viewer votes. And Mrs. Honor Breyer received only 2 of your viewer votes. So Cassian was your prime suspect. I will now reveal who is the perpetrator. The murderer is Mrs. Honor Breyer. Let me explain. The quiet housekeeper was secretly wooed by Cassian Moorcroft to do his bidding, to kill Thornton Whitcomb so that he could possess his perfumery business and take Mrs. Honor Breyer. And take Mrs. Honor Breyer back to India with him. Cassian played to her desperation for escape and a life beyond polishing floors. He witnessed her stealing objects from the Whispering Manor, and after carefully weighing her character, he enchanted her. He whispered that a better life together was possible, only if Thornton was not in the way. She set her sights on getting rid of Thornton. Mrs. Honor Breyer went cleaning the greenhouse, stole some of Dr. Lyndon Corvette's poisons. His birds alerted him to the danger, and he caught her in the act. Knowing that he was romantically involved with Aurelia and Vesper, the housekeeper persuaded him that her plan to poison Thornton was in his best interests, especially since Lyndon and Thornton had just quarreled after he discovered the affairs. Lyndon gratefully surrendered the botanical tonics. Mrs. Honor Breyer led Thornton into the secret passage for a private meeting with Cassian to discuss the patents and the perfumery business. She doused the teacup rim with poison, and when he began to get woozy, she set off the piano mechanism so he would run out of the parlor to see Aurelia. In order to frame Aurelia, Mrs. Honor Breyer placed a mechanism that Cassian had made into the piano. She used it to lure Thornton into the parlor after she poisoned his tea, to make it look like he was listening to Aurelia play piano. As he fell to the floor, Good job, Gum Shoes. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, and thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I will post this on my YouTube. If you would like to rewatch it, you can click on my profile picture and find my links there. Let me know in the chat what you thought. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me. I also want to announce my next special event. Coming up in December, I will be doing my next role-playing special event. It will be called The Case of the Missing Present. I will be your host, Mrs. Claus, and together we will visit some of our favorite neighbors in the neighborhood, like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and some very special elves, to discover why Tiny Tim's Christmas present has gone missing. You can register for this next event by clicking on my profile and clicking on that special event for December. I hope to see you then. Thanks for joining me and have a great night. Tiny Tim. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.